Hey there friends on YouTube, my name is Roger with Electronics and Gadgets. If this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. Please hit the like and subscribe button. If you've been here before, thank you. My next video is going to be on 13 things the iPhone 12, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max can do that other phones can't. The new iPhone 12, 12 mini, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max may seem like mere updates to the iPhone 11 lineup, but there are quite a few features that make them worth the upgrade. Apple has done a good job of highlighting all those features, but some didn't get all the love they deserved. Most of the features highlighted below to all four iPhone 12 models, but some are exclusive to the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro Max, which house better technology than their standard counterparts. In some cases, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is the only phone that has a certain feature. So if you were wondering which iPhone 12 to buy, the iPhone 12 Max is the one you will want to go all in with. So number one, submerge it in up to 6 meters of water, and this goes for all models. Until the late 2020 models came out, Apple's IP68 rating under IEC standard 60529 for dust and water resistant only rated the iPhone up to a depth of 4 meters or 13 feet for up to 30 minutes. While IP68 rating has stayed the same on the iPhone 12, 12 mini, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max. The maximum depth rose to 6 meters, almost 20 feet during the same period. 2 meters may not sound like much, but it can make or break your iPhone if you accidentally drop your iPhone in a swimming pool, lake, or ocean. Apple doesn't recommend, of course, swimming with it or intentionally dunking the iPhone underwater, even though tests show it can handle it just fine. And its warranties don't cover water damage, so you're on your own if you decide to scuba dive in shallow waters or shoot time-lapse underwater videos. Chlorine and salt water can ruin the iPhone's finish, so that's always a risk you'll have to take. Measure someone's height, Pro models only. Since the 12 Pro models have LiDAR scanners, sensors that no other iPhone models have, they can determine the distance away from you and items in front of your rear camera system more accurately. The LiDAR scans the environment with short bursts of laser pulses, creating a depth map that the Measure app can use to help determine distance, height, widths, and other measurements more precisely. Because of that, Apple has built in a people detector into the Measure app that lets you instantly get a person's height, whether they're standing or seated. Record HDR videos with Dolby Vision. All of the new iPhones can shoot videos in HDR with Dolby Vision. I'm sure you all know what HDR means, high dynamic range, and how it works for photos, and it works very much the same way for videos. Bringing them to the iPhone is a feat in itself, but Apple went a step further with Dolby Vision, a mastering and delivery format that gives you more control over color grading each frame, right from the Photo app. For more information on what HDR and Dolby Vision is and what it means for your video recordings, I'll have a full explanation page on the screen. Number 4, use 5G cellular data networks. In all four models, there's 5G support. So if you have the right carrier and are in the right spot, you can get faster speeds and less latency in the US. There are some important things to note about it though. For example, You can't use 5G if you have two active cellular plans at the same time. For another, if you can use 5G, iOS will only use it when it thinks it's necessary, so you could be using LTE even if it says 5G in the status bar. You can change your settings to use 5G always, but that could drain your battery. The new iPhone, all the models, also have an improved modem, so it will help you with your reception even in LTE mode. Number 5, use night mode with ultra-wide and true depth cameras. On the iPhone 11 lineup, night mode only worked on the wide-angle lens on the rear cameras, but the iPhone 12, 12 mini, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max can use night mode on the ultra-wide and true depth cameras, not just the standard wide. Number 6, take portraits photos with night mode, Pro models only. Night mode is a great way to get a better exposed image in low light conditions, but it was always limited to the photo shooting mode. Now, the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max can use it in portrait mode too, and we have the LiDAR scanner to thank for that. The LiDAR scanner can help camera autofocus faster in darker lit environments, and the depth map it creates can help gauge the distance to your subject better. That all means the portrait mode can finally use it. Number 7, night mode time lapse. While it would be awesome if night mode worked with videos, it works with the next best thing, time-lapse photography. And unlike with photo mode, night mode time-lapse works on the whole iPhone 12 lineup, not just the Pro models. So you can put your iPhone on a tripod, open time-lapse mode, and start shooting in dimly lit places. On the iPhone 12 models, night mode works with every lens, so you can shoot time-lapse using the wide, telephoto, or ultra-wide cameras. The exposure time will vary depending upon how long the time-lapse is and how dark your environment and subject is. The frame rate is decided by iOS depending on how long you shoot, and the speed of the time-lapse will also vary on the frame rate, based on the frame rate. Number 8, night mode selfies. You probably already figured this out, knowing that the True Depth camera works with night mode now, but that True Depth camera is your selfie cam. And that means night mode selfies, and it works in photo mode whether you use the wide view or standard view. Number 9, connect magnetic accessories. The whole iPhone 12 lineup comes equipped with MagSafe, a circular magnetic array under the rear glass, which lets you connect MagSafe compatible accessories. For wireless charging, it helps maximize the charging time by ensuring the charger is aligned perfectly each time. As for other accessories, you can attach magnetic wallets, magnetic mounts, magnetic cold shoes, and more. Connecting accessories has never been easier on the iPhone. Number 10, shoot in Apple Pro RAW format, Pro models only. You could shoot in RAW before with third-party apps, but the iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max upped the ante with Apple Pro RAW. According to Apple's Senior Manager of Camera Software Engineer, it, quote, provides many of the benefits of Apple's multi-frame image processing in computational photo like Deep Fusion and Smart HDR, and combines them with depth and flexibility of a RAW format, unquote. So think of ProRAW as a deep image file that has multiple layers such as exposures, highlights, dynamic range, channels, tone maps, white balance, sharpening, etc. That means many of Apple's computational choices that happen in the CPU, GPU, ISP, and neural engine can be adjusted after the fact by you manually. Edits can be done in the Photo app or compatible photo editing software. I wanted to add, shooting in this mode makes the file size of the pictures very large, so I select what I want to shoot in RAW mode with only photos that I'm going to edit with a Pro Editor software app. I normally don't use RAW format. Number 12, zoom in photos and videos more, 12 Pro Max only. While most iPhone 12 models keep the same optical and digital zoom range that the iPhone 11 had, the 12 Pro Max is a different story. It has a better telephoto lens, 65mm by a focal 2.2, than the 12 Pro, 52mm by focal 2.0. And it has a bigger and better image sensor that's 47% larger at 1.7 pixels. That all means more zoom. So it has a 5 times optical zoom range, 1 times more than before. Video record at 7 times digital zoom, 1 times more than before. Video record at 2.5 times zoom, 0.5 times more than before. Take photos at 2.5 times zoom, 0.5 more than before. And take photos at 12 times a digital zoom, 2 times more than before. And finally, number 13, take smooth pictures with censorship, shift 12 Pro Max only. The iPhone 12, 12 mini, and 12 Pro all have optical image stabilization, or OIS, for each lens besides the ultra-wide on the 12 Pro. But the iPhone 12 Pro Max uses sensor shift OIS. On other models, the lenses are stabilized, but not on the 12 Pro Max. Instead, the sensor is stabilized, which is common in full-size DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. This means all of the lenses are stabilized from one point, but the sensor makes the adjustments, and it can make up to 5,000 micro adjustments per second, according to Apple. That makes it possible to expose images at up to 2 seconds with night mode by hand only. You could do more. In our iPhone 12 Pro Max overview, it helps control motion better while maintaining sharpness since a sensor is not as heavy as a lens. It aids in canceling low and high frequency disturbances such as hand movements and car vibrations. I wanted to add 2 other things as well, so there's really 15 things. Number 14 would be, ironically, the A14 Bionic chip. Perhaps the most innovative feature in the new iPhone 12, and this is for all models, is the A14 Bionic chip that runs on a 5nm process. This little chip is a big deal. The A14 Bionic will improve the speed and quality of computational photography by 80%. The A14 Bionic features a 16-core neural engine that is capable of completing 11 trillion operations per second. Which then brings me to the last feature, and because of the A14 chip, the battery, which the battery size is, I believe, just a little bit bigger than the iPhone 11, if not around the same size, but because the A14 chip is so powerful and so efficient, the battery life lasts, at least for me, at least an hour to 2 hours longer a day. So that's my video on the 15 things the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro can do that other iPhones can't. I hope you found my video to be helpful. Thank you for being here. Please click like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment down below. And until next time, I'm out.